What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and today I have a new video to talk about lots more news on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game, as well as some new screenshots, and also some biographies of some of the characters in the game. Now, apologies if I do sound a little weird today. It's because I'm not really feeling very well at the moment, but I decided I would still make this video because it's pretty great news about the game, and quite possibly could change people's minds on if they want to get it or not. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so first off, I'll start off with the news, and then we'll go to the biographies, and last but not least, the screenshots. So first off, there is an in-game comic book store, which Stan Lee has a big part in, as he plays the clerk who owns the store. So, like we were saying not long ago, this comic book store is in the game, but they teased Stan Lee. Well, now it's confirmed he is actually the clerk, which is really cool. But you can do quite a lot in this store, which is really interesting. So, when you're in the store, you can read comic books which you've unlocked, admire unlocked figurines. If you don't know that, it basically, in many of Beanox's Spider-Man games, pretty much all of them, I think, you unlock figurines which you can admire and look around and zoom in and just look at the detail, the attention to detail in each character model for the game. And also, you can use the arcade machines and test how good you are at being Spider-Man. So like how fast you are, how strong you are, things like that. It seems a lot like challenge rooms maybe, but a little more fun and interesting because it's kind of testing you. So that'll be really interesting to see in the game. And that also goes back to what I was saying about how they have pretty much looked at all the old Spider-Man games, because Spider-Man 2 had arcade machines which you would test Spider-Man in and train him and things. So it's really nice to see little things like that returning. Okay, so next up, Beanox recently had an event where you could come and play the game. Anybody could just come and play it. And basically, some people have been saying some very positive comments, such as the quality is at the rendezvous and the graphics are finer and more detailed than what we've seen in any of the marketing material. So, what we've seen in the trailers, the screenshots and things, that doesn't do the game's graphics justice, apparently. So that's really nice to hear, because I'm not complaining, because I think the graphics look great. But there are a lot of people complaining, so hopefully when they get the games for themselves, they'll see that the graphics are actually better than they think. News on the Wii U version of the gamepad will display Peter Parker's phone, which shows like map and the stats and much more. So I think it was the same with the first game on the Wii U version, so not much difference there, but a nice little feature, I gotta say. Now this is really interesting. The lifespan of the game has said to be unlimited. The main story and side quests are around 10 to 12 hours of play, but Thomas Wilson has said you will always have something to do to complete the game 100%. So you've got comic books to collect, character figurines to unlock, costumes, and also, even after that 100%, you've got unlimited crimes, because he said that crimes don't run out. You know, you'll always be saving people, you'll always be stopping crime. So really, the fun never ends, which is really great, because that was the problem with the first one. All you could do when you beat it was wear different costumes, swing around the city, talk to people on the streets. That was pretty much it. So it's nice to see that they're trying to make you want to keep playing it even after you've completed the game. This is quite exciting. So there is DLC planned, but they can't go into detail on what it is for now. So yeah, start speculating. I mean, if you think about it, in the first game we had lots of playable characters. We had Rhino, Stan Lee, and Lizard, and I think there was costumes as well, like Vigilante Spider-Man. So, you know, maybe we'll get more costumes and characters. I think it would be really cool to see like a DLC where we can play as Carnage, since Carnage is in the game now. Or maybe Electro, and then you could have like a feature called Electric Rush, where it's like Web Rush, but he, like, instead of moving there, he kind of teleports there and things. I think that'd be really cool. To help create the look and feel of Manhattan, the Beanox team actually went to Manhattan and took over 2,000 photographs. They also used Google Street View to help find certain places and buildings in the city. So, I'm not saying that, you know, you'll be able to find your house in the game. Like, if you live in New York, I don't think you'll be able to find your house. But I do think it will feel a lot more like Manhattan in the game, and you know, they've said they've widened the street sizes, they've made alleyways and tunnels, and it's just gonna feel a lot more like a city, because the first one just felt more like a hub where you would just, which they actually admitted to, you know, they said you go from point A to point B, that's all it was for. So it's nice to see that they're putting detail into the city now. if you remember in the first game, we had lots of nice little Easter eggs with funny sign names, and we also had like things like, what was it? Eddie Brock Photography, I think. I think we had things like that. Well, Beanox has said there are lots of fun and interesting Easter eggs in this one as well. So if you enjoyed them in the first game, then look forward to seeing a lot more in this one. The game has been in development for 2 years, and the story takes place before the second film, but also in conjunction with the feature film. So basically, Beanox have said don't worry, because this game will not contain any spoilers for the second film, because it's kind of doing its own thing. You know, it will kind of tie into the movie sometimes, you know, like when you see Electro and Goblin, but when you meet people like Carnage and Black Cat, that's when it's not really connected. And I think, and also Kingpin, he's a big part of the game. So I think that, yes, it's got movie elements, but it's got more to do with Beanox's own custom story. Okay, so next up, I'm going to show the character bios. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in the description along with a few other things, because basically, apparently, some of these descriptions do contain small spoilers from the film, and I would rather not read them. So if you would like to read them, then you can click the link in the description and it will take you right there. Okay, so first off we get a nice look at Kingpin, and he looks a lot more detailed than some of the screenshots we've been seeing, so I think this could be a next-gen 3D model of him, rather like the current gen, so that's quite nice. Okay, so here we get a nice look at Green Goblin. Now, I've been hearing quite a lot of complaints about this one, mainly because of his face in this picture. This is just one, like, picture, really, and to be honest, I really like the design of him in the villains trailer, so it doesn't really bother me. But he looks, again, very detailed compared to most of the other pictures we've seen. And also to the right, we can see a normal Harry Osborn just, you know, just standing there. And basically what that's trying to say is that in the game, in the Peter Parker sections, you'll meet characters before they even become like heroes or villains. So we'll be able to talk with Harry and see what he's up to, what plans he has for Oscorp and things. And I think that's a really nice feature because it's going to tie into the story a lot more. Okay, so next up we get a really nice look at Max Dillon, aka Electro, in the game. And he looks really nice, definitely. But it's interesting that they didn't put a picture of Max Dillon in the right-hand side like they did for Harry, because I'm pretty sure they did say that we will meet Max Dillon in the game, you know, before he becomes Electro. So either way, it'll be nice to see how he looks in the game anyway. Alright, so last but not least, we get a really nice look at how Black Cat looks in the game, and she appears to be holding some sort of knife or dagger or something, which she's most likely stolen from Kraven, because he always has things like that. And to the right, we can see Felicia Hardy in a dress. So there's a mission in the game, it's like a party sort of thing, with Harry and Kingpin, and Kingpin tries to poison Harry. So maybe, you know, maybe Felicia's there as well in disguise as, you know, just one of the party members. And maybe Peter's, you know, going to follow her outside or something and find out that she's the Black Cat. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, so now on to the brand new screenshots. This first image, there isn't really much to say. I mean, it looks like Spider-Man's just jumped off something, and is that an explosion in the background or something else? We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it looks similar to the radio towers which you deactivated in the first game, so maybe it's something like that. Here we get Mr. Wilson Fisk here, aka Kingpin, being a nosy Parker and looking at all the surveillance in the city, probably trying to track down Spider-Man or Peter, depending on if he knows who he is at the time. We've seen the mission where this takes place, sort of, like, it was in the gameplay walkthrough. Thomas Wilson says at the end, now it's time to face the Kingpin, and it was in, like, this, it was outside the city, so, they've also confirmed that that mission isn't the last time we see villains, which is really nice, because a lot of games now, you know, you'll find the villain, and you'll take them out, and then that's the last we'll see of it. But with Spider-Man, you kind of got to fight the villain and they have to return, because it's what happens in Spider-Man, so it's really nice that they're thinking that way. Okay, so this is a really nice screenshot of Kraven and Spidey looking at each other in what looks to be a parking lot, I think, because basically at first I really did think that Kraven would turn on Spidey eventually, because he likes a challenge, and of course Spider-Man is a challenge because he's very hard to defeat, so I thought that's how it would work, and maybe it is, you know, maybe he's training him for the challenge or something. Maybe he's the real villain, but just have to wait and see. But yeah, Kraven looks really nice. I think that's one of my favourite looks of Kraven by far in any video game. Now this is my favourite screenshot by far, because I don't know if you guys can notice, but I noticed this straight away. This screenshot is the most detailed one we've seen yet. I mean, for example, let's just take Peter Parker's jacket. Now look at the back of the jacket. That when you look at that quite zoomed in, it still looks really detailed compared to the walkthrough trailer which we saw. And I think they said that's PS4 gameplay, but remember that was taken back in January to February. So this is the final build of the game, and I believe this is the final screenshot of the PS4 version, and I think it looks amazing. I'm very impressed by what I see. I mean, you can see the lighting in the background and the detail on all the walls. It just looks awesome. So yeah, we see Peter Parker talking to Kingpin, which also has lots of detail in his face, which is really nice. And also some thug in a black suit and a red tie. Maybe he'll be one of the thugs we'll fight later. Maybe he'll turn into some sort of big villain. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. This one's pretty cool, of some thug pointing his gun. You know, he's trying to get ready in case Spider-Man's there. But little does he know, you might not be able to see him, but he's just in front of the moon. He's right where the moon is. You can see Spider-Man just sitting there, waiting to take down this guy. And this mission we saw in the walkthrough trailer as well, and I'm really excited to play through this mission because it looks a lot of fun. And it's only one of them. There's more that we don't even know about yet, so that's really nice. This is a pretty cool one on Spidey kicking some thug against a train, and also his friend in the back is retaliating, and you know, he's coming after Spider-Man, which is really nice because it's like the AI kind of care about each other, I guess you could say. It's like you take down one enemy and obviously the other ones are going to retaliate and try to attack you as well, so that's nice. And again, the areas, you know, the mission areas just look so much better than the first game. I mean, I did enjoy them, but they just look so nice to explore, and definitely it makes it more fun when the actual level design looks nice, because it kind of engrosses you more into the game. Okay, so I love this screenshot because it shows my favourite stealth move so far in the game, and basically Spider-Man just grabs someone, chucks them over onto the ground, and then just punches them in the face and webs them. It's just so awesome. And we can see a lot of detail in Spidey's suit and the enemy, and I'm not sure if this picture's next gen. I think they said that some of the images are PC, PS4 and Xbox One, the ones I'm showing. Some of them don't look like they are, some of them look a little current gen, so you know, maybe it's a mix of both, but they definitely all look like great graphics in my opinion. Okay, so here's a nice screenshot which you're probably thinking, we've seen this before, haven't we? Yes, we have. But Beanox has confirmed that this guy right here, which is shooting at Spidey, is actually Shocker, Herman Schultz. So it's really nice to see that he's confirmed in the game, because he's one of my favourite characters, one of my favourite villains that Spider-Man's ever faced in the game. So it's really nice to see him. And, you know, they've said this is him before he becomes Shocker, so maybe, like, eventually in the game story he'll get his mask and things and his shock gloves. That would be really cool. Alright guys, so apologies for the delay on this video. Like I said, I haven't been feeling very well for the past few days now, but hopefully I'll get better soon and be able to make lots more videos for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for lots more news on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game now and even after launch, since DLC is planned, which I can't wait to see what Beanox have planned. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.